Hi, and welcome back. To me, at least. If I appear tired, that's because today was my first day back at work after 3 weeks off. And I enjoy having a holiday more than, than going to work. I even shortened my day by half an hour, so it's not like I can completely complain. But anyway, I'm back and I have very little knitting, even less, if any, sewing. But I did do something. I may have gotten my bonus paid out. And, well, not my bonus. I got a raise. And it's counted from the 1st of January. And since it wasn't paid out until middle of August, I had back pay owed. And really, that's not the reason I spent the money, but I try to justify it for myself. Um, Not because I need any justification, just because, well, yeah, here we are. She'll just jump straight into it because my first item of knitting is what I'm wearing, and I am wearing it on top of a dress. So this is the Charlotte dress by Sew Over It. It has a V-neck. I showed it in a previous episode. And what I'm wearing is the finished Hello My Colors crop top by Just Made, which I knit out of 4 colors of Permine Ester. It calls for 5 colors, but I decided that where the gold is, some of them are supposed to be a different color. I like this color scheme. It was heavily inspired by a finished project, and I used almost all of one skein of the light blue. This is all I have left over. I used 2 and some skeins of the white. This is my second skein of the gold, and this is my only skein of the dark blue. So really, even though I didn't really figure that I would be able to do it with the quantities they stated. I mean, using 1.5 skeins of this when it really should have been 2 separate colors. I mean, you should have plenty if you use the quantities she mentions. Because I didn't do the cap sleeves, I did, well, not quite elbow length sleeves. And I changed the neckline. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a roll neckline. And I changed it to a ribbing to mirror the ribbing at the bottom. The neck seems a bit wide, but my shoulders end here, so, you know, I think it only looks wide because you can see my dress underneath, which has a much more narrow neck. And I modified this by simply repeating. Yeah, I have a bit of a problem with the ribbing at the bottom flaring a bit. I probably should have gone down a needle size. I mean, with wear it will probably straighten out, and yeah. after, it was supposed to end after this bit here, so it would just be this bit and then the ribbing, but I added these two motifs, which are a mirror of this motif and this, but in a different color. I did that to add length, because otherwise it would have been, well, wouldn't have been too bad. It would probably be like this. Probably maybe better for wearing with a dress underneath. I am toying with the idea of maybe sewing the ribbing to the edge. I don't know. I haven't really worn it because it's still hot. But it is washed and feels really nice and soft. It is a crop top because, as I mentioned, you're supposed to end it here, and this would have been for the long length, so you can do one that's even more cropped. If you're always going to wear it with dresses or high-waisted things, go for it. But I don't know that I'll do that, so I figured it doesn't look too terrible with a dress. It still gives me access to the pockets. The flaring of the hem might make sense if I play around with my skirt. But yeah, very easy pattern. All you need to be able to do is follow the charts. So yeah, finished object, first finished object, because I have also finished the cutest little thing, and I'm handing it over to a co-worker tomorrow to give to the expecting mother, who is also a co-worker, but she has unfortunately been put on sick leave. She was due to go on maternity leave tomorrow, so I thought I was going to see her tomorrow. Luckily, a colleague can hand it over to her. This is the little bear, little A. It's just called little A. It's this cute little bear cardigan, really, and I love the ears. Not loving my embroidery, but you know. And it has snaps. I decided to put snaps down the entire side, except for the absolute bottom. In the pattern, you're only supposed to put snaps up at top. Let me just... Is that a loose thread? Why is there a loose thread? We do not want loose threads. It's supposed to only be buttoned up here at the neckline and down until you get, well, this piece. But I thought, well, I'd rather put in snaps and have them be able to just leave it open if that's what they want. They're having a little girl, if you didn't know. And I already know she loves the color because she commented on me putting the very beginning of this up in the story, my stories. And it is very, very cute. It is a folded hem for both the sleeves and the actual hem, and that just gives it a nice clean finish. Also means you can roll up the sleeves if you want. But as I said, It's the ears. The ears are so adorable. The yarn is again Permine Ester, and I had 3 skeins of this, and I really didn't need it because I had this left over from knitting the top for the cardigan, and this is from my second skein, so I think I could actually make the other thing I'm making for her, which will get done because I only need to finish 2 things, and I can easily get that done tonight. As you can see, it's a really full bowl, so could probably have gotten away with just using this. And the second thing I'm making for her is keeping with the theme. It's a little baby bear bonnet. And right now I've knit an I-cord for the ties, and I am doing an I-cord bind off for the back of the neck, and then I'll end it with an I-cord tie. And I need to graft these little cute ears, these little cute ears that make up the bear part of the bear bonnet. I opted for the moss stitch edging. You can also do ribbing, but I figured I always do ribbing on things, so I figured I'll just do moss stitch for this one. So yeah, bit of a theme, and I don't know why really. Well, I saw this and thought it was so cute, and this just, yeah. I've knit this before. I'd forgotten that I don't really like I like the construction. So you knit it flat from here until you have made the ears. And then you start doing short rows to shape this and do some ink decreases, and then you end up with live stitches here, pick up stitches either side, but it does mean that you have a fair number of ends to weave in afterwards. Now this is weaving in stockinette, so it's not, I mean, no one likes weaving in. If you do, I don't want to know. But yeah, it's cute. I've knitted before. I'll probably knit it again, and have forgotten all about the ends that you need to weave in afterwards. But both this and the cardigan are size 6 months, and they are knit on a 3.5mm needle, which I'm pretty sure is the recommended needle. I think so. Maybe not for the cardigan. I don't know. Anyway, just those 2 things to go, and we're good to go. And I hope she'll enjoy it, because she doesn't know I'm knitting her something. Well, she knows that I had a gift for her. She also knows I'm a knitter. Last bit of knitting. It's not a lot to show you. I still have my sea glass inspired tea. Haven't touched it. I've just not felt like doing a lot of knitting, or any knitting really. And the one thing I did try to cast on, I'm not sure about it, so. But it did cast on this, and right now I wish I could tell you what it's called. It is not least because all I have to show you is this. This is the back of the neck and working down the sides, and this is just 8 rows. I call it my zebra jumper. It's a very graphic jumper, which is knit in black and white in the pattern. The pattern is a free pattern by Filcolena. And I know I ranted about Filcolena's latest designs and size inclusivity. That's my brain. Yeah. It's not very size or some of their sizes are not very size inclusive, some of the patterns. I think this might have a bigger size as well than what I'm knitting. No, it doesn't. I'm knitting the bigger size, which is an XL or XXL. It's not great. Won't go into that round again. The construction so far, from what I've read and what I've done, should work. I don't enjoy knitting color work flat, but this is only until you get to like a bit down the front, and then you knit it in the round. You cast on extra stitches and start knitting in the round. So I'm making do. The yarn I'm using is by Filcolena, but it's not the recommended yarn. I'm using 2 strands of Avetta held together in white and black. I think the pattern, I don't remember the name, but it's from their older jazz collection, so their latest collection, I'm pretty sure. And I think is it 2 strands of Vilja? It's what they used to call Indicita. I'm pretty sure it's 2 strands of that held together, which I think is more or less interchangeable with the Avetta. I did make a swatch, go me. Knit it flat, go me. And it works out. I'm getting gauge on 4.5mm needles rather than the 5mm needles the pattern suggests. As you can tell, I'm not really that far, because I wanted to finish the cardigan, and yeah, it's going to get some more love, because right now I am getting ready for fall weather and for wearing lovely stuff, lovely knits. But yeah, right now it's not the weather for it, so. But I can knit for it. And yeah. Zebra. That is all of my knitting. My bit of sewing that I can show you is actually mostly because I don't know if I already showed you this. If I did, I'm sorry. If I didn't, I'm still sorry, because there's not a lot to show you. So it's my cat dress, and this is the back of the bodice. I am sewing the Kinfolk by Jennifer Lawrence Handmade, JLH. Jennifer Lawrence Handmade. Now I'm doing this with French seams, so I've only done the inner seam. I need to do the secondary seam, but I didn't feel like, and this was before my holiday, didn't feel like doing the ironing, so I have a front piece as well, which looks just the same. Has the same princess themes, sewn once but not twice, and in need of a press. And the Kinfolk is an oversized dress with where you put elastic in the back to cinch it in a bit, and then you have or gather it a bit, and then you have a tie that you tie around. I made the ties, I top stitched the ties, and as I said, I've made these, and then I need to make actually sew this, make the seams, and so on. Again, brain process, brain on holiday. Bye. So, very minimalistic sewing, but I have to get on with my knitting and sewing because I might have done some damage during my holiday. Let's start with the newest things first, because yesterday I needed to pick up the snaps for the cardigan, so I went into City Stuffer, and they are very evil and have their older Liberty fabrics right when you get in. And this spoke to me and said, I want to come home and be something. And I said, yes, I must do it. That's not all, because this Liberty fabric, can you hear pattern? Almost neon line drawings on a dark blue background. I had to get it. So I have 2 meters of each. I actually looked at, I might use this for a Jill dress, the short version by Fibermute, number 20 I think it is. Because it's a very simple dress in front, so it's just a sleeveless square neck, bodice in front, and then it has a triangular cutout in the back, but not so big that you can't wear a bra underneath, because I have to wear a bra, but because it's very plain, the fabric really gets to play, and it uses 2 meters in the short version. So yeah, just the feel of it. Liberty is expensive, but I do love it. I don't know what I'm going to use this for. Maybe a shirt, maybe a blouse, maybe something else. I don't know. I had to have it. Now, the reason I was downtown yesterday was not just because I needed the snaps. I did need the snaps. I should say that the snaps I've used are the 11mm, and pattern calls for 7 for the neck and 9mm for the rest. I'm like, can they hold anything? So I opted for 11, which I thought was small enough, and believe me, it is. But I had another reason to be downtown. That's because they had an early release and book signing of this book. When this originally came out in Norwegian, I seriously thought about getting it, because, I mean, it's just colors and fun patterns, and I really love this. Not only did they have an early release, but they had a book signing. So yeah. So I got to meet Ingunn Birkeland, and also discovered that she knows how to spell my name because she watches Badehotellet, where there's also a character. Well, I shouldn't say also a character, I'm not a character. Where there's a character called Fie. So yeah, she knew how to spell my name when she figured out that that's what I was called. And it's not all like color work for like the like the front one. There's also more, I hate to say just striped, but I hope you know what I mean. There was this really beautiful jacket, which I can't imagine myself knitting because it would take 20 years. But yeah. And all of these are designed with Finnur in mind. I can see there's also a option for Plum, which are both from Rauna. So she tells you, color 1, you need so much. This is the color number. So, yeah. It's both patterns for women, for men, for kids. I want to look this happy in a hat. The word I'm looking for is hat. Wow. But I want to look that happy in a hat. Could she use bigger sizes? Yes. I do see a lot of sizes that go from 2XS extra small to a triple XL. So not the most inclusive, not the worst. Middle of the road. Ish. I mean, it's released in Danish today. You can get it everywhere. It's only available in Danish and Norwegian. Yarn Freak has it, so they ship international if you need to. Yeah, love it. So those were my newest things, and I couldn't tell you the rest when it arrived. But the thing about, sorry for the noise, the thing about heading into the fall is that a lot of Danish designers release their booklets. And sometimes you see a booklet. This is called Strik til Vinter, Susie Harman. I mainly knit baby knits by her. I have a couple of her baby knit things. Actually, I don't think I've knit anything adult size from her. But all of these patterns, their names are inspired by places in Aarhus, where I live. So I thought that was kind of fun. And there are several that I think would be really nice. Some are just basic things that you can cozy up in. But one of the one of the patterns I fell in love with is Gänseparken, this one. And I was actually thinking about using a yarn I already have for the green contrast color, so it would be a pistachio minty green. But I would need to buy the neutral color and a second contrast color. And then I was looking at using the original yarn and priced it out in my size, and it would be around 1,000 krona. And that just didn't seem like something I would want to pay for something that includes silk mohair, which is something that I really don't like mohair. But I did really like these colors. And so I was looking around and I bought yarn so I decided to get Sandnesgarn alpaca, which will get the same cozy big feeling as what they're trying to do with the original yarn, but I will only need a single strand, and it's so soft. I've used it before, and so this is going to be my main color. So it's a sort of, it's called Kit, so it's a sort of white, and then I'm going to use these two for my contrast, which are very similar to the original. I haven't cast on yet, but might be my next project, because color work, two different types of color work at the same time. I will change the neck because I don't want a high neck like the pattern, but my thought is just to start the rib, or only do part of the ribbing. It's knit bottom up from what I remember, so I have time to decide what I want to do. So, new book, yarn for the book, and my last purchase is also fabric. I sometimes like to shop the remnants at one of my favorite yarn shops, which is sadly closing down its brick and mortar store, so it'll only be online, which I understand, but I have opened this before, but I like to go in and look sometimes because I like to feel their fabric as well, but they want to concentrate more on the fabrics. They have some fabric lines and they want to concentrate on their web shop. All of these things I understand. But in preparation for this, they put out a lot of remnants and offcuts. And some of them are rather large. I mean, this is 1.5 meters. I have this in dark blue with gold flowers that I haven't used yet, but you know, I have it. So this is a viscose from, is it Atelier Brunet? I also bought this Tencel, which has, I don't know if you can see, but it has these tiny little textured things. 180 centimeters, so I mean that's practically a dress. or something similar. This is actually Minder Maker Tencel in the frog colorway. It looks way darker on my screen right now. It's the same color and line as my green dress that I showed you last time. This is just a solid. And the last one is actually 2 meters. And I've been looking at this in the bolt several times. And I mean, it's 2 meters for 275, so I mean, did save a bit. It's actually a dark green and not so much a teal as it's showing up. I mean, come on. I had to buy it. Usually remnants can be very short, so I have a general rule of thumb that if I'm going to buy a remnant, I'm going to try and buy ones that are at least 1.5 meters, because I can get a blouse out of that. I know the green is not that, and the first one was. No idea what I'm going to make with it, but for such large pieces, I had to get it. Again, things I've already looked at and hemmed and hawed about. Hummed. I don't know, this could be a cute, just very simple something. Tunic or something. So yeah, a lot of purchases, not a lot of work. Hopefully that will change. So you won't see the baby bear bonnet, because I am going to finish it today, hand it over tomorrow, and apologize for not having washed it. And I might add some tiny mitts as well. You know, it's an October baby, so the next 6 months will be cold. Yeah. That is everything. I hope you've had a great summer. I hope you can live with the fact that I probably rambled a bit. I should never podcast after a work day where I've been to the actual office. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'll see you in 2 weeks, and hopefully I'll have something to show you. Bye.